Dr. Tongie. I'm from a little town called Columbus, Mississippi, and I've come all the way here to show you exactly how you can live abundantly. Fear is nothing. You hear me? You can do anything you put your mind to. I'm your girl, Dr. Tongie. We're going to do life together. Hi, good evening, good evening, good evening. Did you miss me? Because I missed you, man. It's your girl, Dr. Tongie, but on this platform, you know me as Tongie, and welcome to Season 3 of Talk to Tongie, where real conversations meet real impact. The theme of tonight's show is spotlighting community voices, dreamers, doers, and change makers in the marketplace. You know how we do it, right? I am so honored. I'm so honored to be in your home this evening. This show is designed to spotlight everyday heroes, entrepreneurs, community builders, and visionaries who are doing the work, okay? Living, dreaming, and making our world a better place one step at a time. Now, we've got someone, right? Yeah, man, who I themed it from wells to wonders, right? To heart. He's a heart of a community impactor. He is. But before we get to him, let me, for those who don't know who I am, I know I've been off the air for about a year and some change. I was told this evening. I still can't believe it's been that long. My name is Dr. Tongie, and on this platform, you know me as Tongie. I'm a speaker, a coach, an author, a radio and TV host, a purpose pusher. I told someone I used to deliver babies, now I deliver hope. How about that? I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, and I'm a friend. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to be to you. And you're saying, well, what do you want to be a friend of me for? Because you matter, that's why. Because you really, really do matter. All right. This show is about uplifting. It's about you in the marketplace doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. It's about you being purpose-driven, extraordinary people doing things in their communities, all right? And it's representation. It is. It's me meeting you right where you are, and sharing your dreams and letting you know that all things really are possible. So, here's my call to action. If you know someone, or maybe you want to be a part of what we're doing on this show, would you reach out and let us know? And who knows, you may be a guest on the show. All right. Let's get into this powerhouse of a guy. He's not just building wells, he's building hope. His name is Mufasa. Mufasa Joseph. That's powerful, isn't it? It is. And he has a story that he's going to share with us that I'll let him tell you because I don't want to spoil it. So, without further ado, Mr. Mufasa Joseph, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that you're here, man. I'm about to jump out of my skin.
Thank you, Dr. Tongie. Man, I love your energy.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I love your energy.
Oh,
I love your
sir.
energy. And I really want to thank you for such a privilege being here tonight.
Thank you.
And from the time I stepped in, I know you're a woman of faith.
Yes, sir.
Felt this anointing, felt this presence, and we're going to have a great show tonight.
Oh, honey, we already
Thank
have one. What you talking? All right, let's get into these questions because I didn't really want to talk to you before the show. I'm like, no, I'm going to wait. Mm-hmm. So, would you tell us about the moment you decided to dig your very first well?
Sure. Certainly. So, it started when I did a school in Barbados at the age of 19.
Okay.
And from the time I was a young person, a young man going to school, I always loved going through the National Geography magazines. Yeah. So I'm like, man, tribal people with lip plate and those things around their neck. I'm like, that's really true. So I'm like, someday I'm gonna be among those tribes. And I just love watching the movie Indiana Jones. I'm like, man, I wish I could have been in the jungle like that. So I did this school in Barbados where it's kind of like a Christian missions humanitarian aid school. And then I got to know about something called the 1040 window, and there's so many different people groups and so many things going out there. And it really got me out of my little goldfish mentality, just St. Lucia, this little dot on the map. And at age 19, myself, another St. Lucian lady and an American guy, we were going to the nation of Albania. At the same time we were leaving for Albania, a civil war broke out.
Oh, come on.
So I'm like, man, my bag's already packed. I'm about to leave, and you're telling me I can't go because I'm like, no, I'm going in this war. When the director said, you're too crazy for me, you're not going in no war. And then they sent us over to work among the Caribs in Dominica. So I did 3 months in Dominica. And then my life just changed after this. And then I did another school in Zambia, Africa for 3 months. And boom, I'm like the very same thing on National Geography. I'm seeing folks walking 5 hours for filthy water. And then my life just took a turn. Just a new phase of my life, and the ministry, Kyros Connection, was birthed right there. So that's how it all started.
That's how it all started. You made that look real. It made it sound real simple, dude. You did. So what inspired your heart to serve both here and abroad? Because that's a big calling.
Well, the thing is, we all have a big calling. And don't limit yourself to only St. Lucia. And that's what I always tell people. When we saw our very own Julian Alfred broke that finish line and got that gold medal, she took not only St. Lucia to a new limit, she inspired others. Like, the sky is beyond the limit.
Come on.
So, like, don't limit yourself to just a little vendor, a little bread maker, a little taxi driver in St. Lucia. Whatever God has placed within you, Jeremiah 29:11. Hey, I have big plans for you. I have plans for you, and it's so big, it's beyond St. Lucia. So we all have this big dream. So it's not just me. Every single person on earth has a calling. It's just a matter of you just getting in line with the plans that God has for you.
Wow.
Absolutely,
man. So how did your upbringing, being born here, you were born here, yes?
Yeah, I'm St. Lucian, 100%.
How do you believe it shaped your purpose?
Oh, Doc, my parents, my grandmother. My grandmother was, she passed away during COVID. She was this powerhouse. I'm talking about waking up 1 in the morning praying. And when you have a praying grandmother, and a lot of St. Lucians out there, you have a praying grandmother. God, make my daughter do this. God, help my son do this. And then she's coming and probably anoint your head and pray over you while she's sleeping. And that's my grandmother. My grandmother, I grew up in the country. So I'd go up in the countryside for to get yam, dashi, and different things. And it's like, she's going to tell everybody, this is my soldier, this is this. So I grew up working really hard, and just the faith of my grandmother, the faith of my parents, it really shaped me into putting boundaries as to, from a very young age, this is what I want to do. This is the line. When you draw the line before the line? So even if you come to me with all of this negative stuff, I've already drawn the line. I'm not going to be doing this. I'm not going to be doing this. So the faith that I grew up with and the friends and the atmosphere I grew up with really helped shape where I am today.
Wow.
Wow. So I don't know if that answered the question.
Oh, it did, man, in so many ways. It did. So what does it really take to build something from the ground up? I mean, you literally are rolling up your sleeves and you're doing this. What does it take for that?
Man, without faith, it's impossible to please God. A mantle of faith that, it's like really putting your feet to the edge of the water and seeing Him opening the Jordan or opening the Red Sea for you. It's like, hey, all I want you to do is just do your part.
Right.
If you could just get to the airport, and the thing is, God never shows you the full picture.
I know.
Never shows you the full picture. I'm like, God, did you really tell me go Africa and do it well? I'm on the airport right now, and what's going to happen next? No, just do it one step at a time. So my life has been a life of faith. faith. And it's not like faith where I see the full picture, or where I know everything. It's like, I'm only giving you this one step at a time, and all you have to do is trust me. And I've traveled the world. I'm any part of the world. It's like, okay, how are you going to surprise me today? I'm meeting a total stranger on the airport. I'm in South Africa on the airport. Total stranger, don't know who I am. Walking up to me and telling me this, and that. I'm like, huh? How do you know me? I'm like, and then that's how God works.
He does.
So it just takes faith and just being obedient one step at a time. And then gradually, it just becomes an exciting adventure.
It does, doesn't it?
What's next?
Yeah.
Look, I'm with you tonight.
I know.
That's part of the faith journey. I never dreamt of being here tonight with you. So that's part of the journey. So that's all part of it. That's how God works. That's how God works.
So some of your biggest challenges that you've had to face, we sometimes love the glory, right? But we don't understand that story. What has been some of the biggest challenges that you've had to face?
A lot of challenges is like when you have that gut calling or that purpose or what you've called to do, there will be voices around.
For sure.
Starting from internally. Do you really think you're called to do that? And if you believe those negative voices, and then you have the other voices like, you mean to tell me, St. Lucia, I have so much things to get done. You're going all the way Africa to do this. You're going all the way India to get an orphanage going. You're going on. Don't you think about this first? Why what are you going to do all the way there? Then you have to try and just block off those voices and then listen to the one voice that spoke to you. God, you told me to go and do a well. I felt it. I cannot sleep. It's troubling me. It's bothering me. And then as soon as you obey that one voice, then all the other voices just... And then the thing is, a lot of doubts and unbelief because he's never going to go all the way African. It's not going to happen. And then when it happens, it's like, oh, wow, you went African. You know, like, oh, wow, you did it. So I'm like, but that's what I said I was going to do. So it's a matter of just really getting doubt out, getting all the negative voices out, and stepping out in faith and what that one voice you heard. Yeah.
Wow. I feel like I'm sitting and getting this master class, man. I really am. So with everything that you're doing, Mufasa, what really keeps you motivated? I know faith, but there are times when I'm fighting the good fight of faith. What keeps you so motivated to get up every day?
What, Doc, when you see that you obeyed your calling and you see, say you in the middle of Africa, then a dirt hut, and somebody's touching clean water for the first time, crying and telling you, never from our forefathers, we have never dreamt of ever drinking clean water. It does something to you. It's like, okay, so because I obeyed, somebody else is being blessed. So every time you see that your life literally touch somebody else, and that somebody else, I I want to talk about how we take so much for granted, like just drinking water, but
this is this is the platform.
I don't know. I was drinking some water a while ago. This glass of water in my hands. Some of us, we drank some water a while ago. Some of us this morning, we took a nice shower. Or a while ago tonight, before you go to bed, you take a shower. You brush your teeth this morning. You had a flushing toilet. 2.2 billion people around the world don't have access to this clean drinking water. So what I do, we believe in, one of our goals is to drill one well per year. And when I did the first well, and you see, we drill about 100 feet deep. And when you see somebody's touching clean water and the noise they make, you've been to Africa, it's like, it's like, and they sing all night. And they sing all night the next day and the next, because it's like, we've prayed for this. We've dreamt about this, and we never thought it would have been a reality that somebody brought clean water to our village. And then I just want to go and hide. I'm like, all I did was just obey. And those folks are just crying. And then what it does, it keeps you going over and over and over. So I'm returning back to Africa. My 4th trip to Africa in August. I'm doing the big 5. I'm going to be drilling a well. I'm going to be building part of a school. I'm going to be building part of a church. I'm taking a group of St. Lucians with me for the first time, going with me. And I'm going to be blessing a few pastors. So it's a big deal. I call it the big 5.
The big 5.
The big 5.
Did you see my head go up? That's me saying, I want to go.
You'll be on one of the trips. Yeah.
That is so amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Let me get through this show tonight. So, with what you're doing, what impact are you most proud of? Because there's so much.
The impact, I mean, it's not just wealth, because I recently just returned from India, and I just heard 2 words in my spirit, Doc. I just heard the word India, and I heard the word orphanage. I have never been to India. I don't know anything about India. All I know, India has the most population in the world. Over 1.4 billion, thereabout. And like, I have never done an orphanage. I don't know anything about orphanage, but I just heard India and I heard orphanage. And I took my backpack and I obeyed. And this trip was one like none other, Doc. India touched my life in terms of the hospitality I received, what happened, the young children we worked with. And the impact is like just seeing lives being changed again, just seeing lives being changed, not just for what was done physically, whether it's a well, whether it's getting an orphanage going, whether you're doing a feeding program or what you're doing, but seeing life change internally and spiritually. It's like what you do has just literally changed your life. So if I could just do it and one person got changed, Doc, it's enough for me.
Yes, sir.
It's enough for me.
Absolutely. Didn't I tell you were in for a treat tonight? Not only do you have your girl back, but you got this gentleman right here, and we're going to take a break so we can get back into all things Mr. Mufasa Joseph. Thank you so much for being here. We'll be right back. And we are back. Thank you so much again, seriously, for just being here. I am so grateful, and I never, ever want you to feel like I'm just taking you for granted, because I know better. Now, in case you want to see a repeat of this show, Sunday morning, right? Sunday morning at 8? Yeah. Sunday morning at 8 o'clock, you can see a repeat of the show, and drop a line or two and let me know where you're watching from, if you don't mind. We're in studio live, season 3 of the show, with an amazing gentleman, Mr. Mufasa Joseph, who's just giving us some pearls of wisdom, right? That we can literally step into our own purpose and live the life that we're supposed to be living. Now, sir, how do you define success now versus when you first got started?
Success is you don't say judge your success based on all the accomplishments. For me, my success, I weighed on was I obedient?
Okay.
Was I obedient to the last instructions that I received in terms of my spirits? And this is all about our spiritual life, our spiritual journey. So for me, it's like, did you obey the last instruction I gave you? And did you fulfill it? And because the thing is, I always tell folks that partial obedience is disobedience.
That's it.
You know, incomplete obedience is disobedience. Obedience, murmuring and complaining is disobedience. You know, delayed obedience is disobedience. You know, there's somebody out there listening. It's like, man, you know, God told me to write this book. God actually told me to call this person yesterday, and I've not done it. And then you hear, oh, did you know this person passed away? Oh my God, delayed obedience. Did you actually obey when you got the? It's like, well, 2 weeks ago I really wanted. 2 weeks ago,
right?
2 weeks ago. You see how time is moving so fast now. So for me, it's really, I judge my success on, did you obey wholeheartedly without delaying the instruction, without murmuring when you're doing it, but you just do it wholeheartedly. So that's how I judge it.
Wow.
That's how I judge it.
You know, I once heard, I think it was Dr. Miles Monroe say that success is being and doing exactly what God told you to do and be.
That's right.
It's it's not the accolades that we get. It's not the awards that we get. It is exactly doing exactly what He would have you to be and do. So I am grateful that you live by that principle. Thank you so much for that. So, Mr. Mufasa, what advice would you give someone who's watching tonight, who's saying, "I know there's a call, but." Man, I just, I got this 9 to 5. I hear what you're saying, but X, Y, Z. What would you say to someone who really wants to walk out on faith?
Yeah. I was at a point in my life, Doc, where I went through a period where I was really depressed. And I was, just had some really bad thoughts going in my head. And I went and looked at myself in the mirror. And I just heard this voice saying, you cannot be replaced. You cannot be replaced. And God showed me that there is like approximately 8.6 billion people on this earth. No one has your voice print. No one has your eye print. No one has your fingerprint. There is not another one. They may have somebody else with your name. You may be an identical twin, but that twin is not like you. So now He says, what are you going to do with the only you on earth and with the little bit of time you have to do it? So I want to look at the camera and tell somebody out there that's listening. There is not another you in the entire universe out of 8.6 billion people. What are you going to do with you? What are you going to do with the purpose that God has already placed in your life? And don't think you have an entire lifetime to get it done. This may just be your last year. Nobody promised you tomorrow. I'm very sure that we may have had loved ones who passed away last week or this week. I had a cousin who just was walking down the step. He died of a heart attack. My dad died suddenly in my hands. Blood clot. He was never sick in entire life. So then that just changed my life in terms of maximizing every second of my life. So to a St. Lucian listening out there, to somebody listening from the Caribbean and to the uttermost part of the earth, do what you've called to do. You don't have much time left on earth to get it done. Ask yourself the question, what am I here for? And how soon do I have to step out and do it? So please step out and do it now. God sees the baby step. God just wants to see the small step of faith. It's like, wow, I'm seeing this baby step. Okay, since you're drawing nigh, I'm going to draw nigh. I'm going to come closer and equip you and give you some more resources. Wow, you took another step. I'm going to come closer and give you some more resources. Wow, you took another step. Wow, now I'm going to send divine partners to help network and show you and guide you and bring. So He just wants to see those baby steps. As long as you're doing those baby steps, you're going to enjoy this adventure. And that's where I'm at in my life. It's an adventure and it's exciting. Yeah. It's exciting, Doc.
Oh
and I love it.
And I can feel it, man.
I love it.
You're electrifying. You really, really are. Yeah. You're speaking my language, and I swear to you, I'm sitting here trying to be cool. But I'm about to jump out of my skin because I understand the assignment, you know? I was just minding my business in Los Angeles, California. Didn't even know about St. Lucia. And, my story is my beloved son. I call him son because he was my baby. I didn't birth him, but he was still mine. And God, he finished his assignment over here.
Amen.
At 33 years old, and he was my daughter's husband, and losing him was one of the hardest things that I've ever had to go through. But thank you, sir. But I remember, his name is Harvey. I remember him telling me, "You got this, Miss Tongie." You know, I would beg him, "Call me Mama," and he wouldn't. But he lived. He was such a man of principle, and I remember just telling him that one day, man, I just want to travel the world, and I just want to tell people about God, and I just want to show them, not just talk about it, but be about it. And my story goes, I battled with depression for so long. You know, I'd wake up in the middle of the night crying and go to bed crying and trying to figure out what is this, and thought that death was the only way that I could literally have peace. But it wasn't until I literally just said, I surrender. So if you are in that moment in your life, and I'm not putting your business on Front Street, I'm talking about me, surrender. And that's the thing, that's when you start to live the life that you're supposed to, because you can't do it without a surrender. You just cannot.
That's right.
So, with that being said, I've got a quote for tonight, and I know we had one on the screen, but I've got one here. It says, "You do not have to be ready to rise. You just have to be willing. Willing to trust, to try, to take one step toward the life calling your name. The next dimension isn't waiting, it's watching." The next dimension, people say, well, I just want to go to another level, but I was taught that when you go to another level, you go to with the same mindset, you're just going a little higher. But when you go to another dimension, your whole life really does change, and you understand that you're not in control of absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, with that being said, Mr. Mufasa, tell us about Kyros Connection.
Kyros Connection.
Yes.
Yeah. So Kyros Connection, it was birthed in Zambia, Africa. When I saw folks walk 5 hours for filthy water, literally mud water, my heart broke. And I'm like, when I returned to St. Lucia, I'm hearing God is telling me, go back and drill a well. I'm like, God, I don't have money to drill a well. Well costs so much. And then I'm just hearing God tell me, don't insult me.
I know you're having that conversation with the man that owns a cattle
Thank
of 1,000 hills.
So Kyros Connection is spelled with K.
Yes.
Kyros is the God time. You know the Greek measured time in two ways, Chronos and Kyros. Chronological, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Kyros is that divine God time. And our slogan is the right time, the right need, the right place. So Kyros, the process of being a non-profit organization. It's non-political. It's non-denominational. I don't believe in denominational walls. I broke that down. I am not red and I'm not yellow. I am kingdom.
Come on.
I am kingdom.
Yeah,
I move kingdom and I move with the love of God. So Kyros moves. We do work in St. Lucia. We do work different parts of the world, and we'll continue doing work around. So this August is going to be big. This is the 4th time I'm going back to Africa, and I'm going back and drill another well, going back and build a school, build part of a church, and do lots of ministry. So we on the move.
You're on the move.
We're on the move.
Oh my God. So how can people that really want to be a part of what you're doing, to want to know more about what you're doing, how can they reach out and touch and get in touch with you and just have that conversation?
Sure. Initially, I just wanted to be low profile.
Yeah. Sorry, sir.
No, I'm saying I really wanted to be low profile. I'm like, look, I'm sitting here with you today. Yeah. I never planned this, never dreamt of being here. It just happened. It's a whole process that I'm here today. So you get in touch with me. If you are not much people do social media, but if you're on Instagram, you could just look up Kyros, Kairos, and Connection, Konnection. If you want to support financially, we have a Bank of St. Lucia account just for these projects, for those works, community projects. You could you'll put it out on the screen when we can. And you could reach out to me direct. My email is there. My telephone number is on the social media page. And Marcus Mufasa Joseph, my full name. And let's connect. Let's connect. If you want to travel with me this year to Africa, connect with me.
Wow.
And let's go.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
Now, we were seeing some bureau that was on the screen. Would you tell us the story behind the
sure.
Yeah.
This video that you're watching, this is one of our very first well, and I named this well the Well of New Beginning. The Holy Spirit said, call this well the Well of New Beginning. I'm like, guys, have you ever named a well in and he said, no, we've never have no names for wells. So the ministry that I went to do this well in Africa, the guy said, we've never heard about drilling a well. We never thought about, we don't know anything about drilling well.
Come on.
So these are well drillers. I went and I hired a rig. We drove into a village about 4 hours that have never had clean drinking water. They were drinking filthy water. And we drilled about 100 feet. And this, my translator is saying, he's translating, and the guy saying, from our very forefathers, we've never dreamt that we would have been drinking clean water.
Jeez.
And that was a miracle. Actually, this same village, I interviewed a mother who had a 3-month-old baby on her back, and they were drinking that filthy water. I'm asking her, do you boil this water? She says, no, we don't boil it. You just drink it filthy as it is. Let me tell you the exciting part about this, Doc.
Yeah.
The same guy that went with me to do this well, when I left Africa, he bought a rig, a well drilling machine, and he has now done over 80 wells.
Oh, come on.
he's now so it was kind of like I pioneered this,
you did.
and it multiplied. The well multiplied. So again, I'm holding this cup with me, and it has water in it. When you open that tap and you drink water, just remember there are folks that walk miles for this water that you're drinking, and they drink filthy water. There are folks that never dreamt of ever having water, and that's all they do. They just get up every morning, and normally it's the women and the young girls. They walk miles with heavy jerry cans. Sometimes they don't know if they're going to get attacked by a wild animal. They don't know if they're going to get ambushed along the way. The women and the young girls are the ones doing all this walking. I mean, there's a lot I can share.
For sure.
Because I tell you, I keep going and I keep going. So there's so many stories I could share with you, but this is the very first well that we did, and it was really exciting doing this well. Just seeing people drinking clean water for the first time in their life.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
I am trying to keep from sweating and crying. I really am, because this is so life changing. Okay, they're telling me I got to go for a break. Thank you, Gummit.
Okay.
We'll be right back with Mr. Mufasa, and we're going to pick his brain a little further. Again, thank you for being here. We'll be right back.
Awesome.
And we are back. Thank you so very much for not turning off the TV. This crazy lady, right? Anyway, I'm Dr. Tongie, and I'm sitting here this evening with Mufasa Joseph, who has just really blessed me. So I'm telling you, he makes me feel like I ain't doing nothing. You make me want to live even more. Man, you do. So what's a typical day for Mr. Joseph like when you're on the island?
Okay.
And off.
So I wear many hats.
You do.
I'm a wedding planner.
Okay.
I'm a justice of the peace.
I love it.
And my 9-5, I work with a property management firm.
Oh, wow.
And I'm also involved in so many other stuff in terms of ministry and discipleship, and I do a lot of in between.
Yeah.
So I try to maximize my full potential whilst I'm alive.
For sure.
Every second. So again, I see you in terms of Miles Monroe. It's like really. I remember once he said one of the richest places on earth is the burial ground, the cemetery. Yes. It's like books that have never been written, records that have never been. So for me, I want to die empty.
Oh, you better.
I want to die empty. So I still believe if God say, hey, why don't you take on crochet? I'll take on crochet.
Yeah, you would.
Why don't you take on doing flower decorating? I'll do it.
Yeah.
I have no pride in doing this. So it's for me, there's still a lot I have not tapped into as yet in terms of playing musical instrument, in terms of learning new languages. I want to be able to speak at least 4 to 5 languages fluent.
My God.
So keep on developing, keep on tapping. There's a lot of buried gifts within us that we have not even, when COVID hit, Doc,
for sure,
I'm like, folks that's starting all kind of what they call that CMOS.
Yep.
Everybody's into the CMOS business. I'm like, oh, so now you're getting ideas that COVID hit. So you have to take COVID to really stir up certain gifts, stir up certain potential. So I'm like, even whilst you are at it on a daily basis, stir up gifting, stir up, because there is not another one like you on earth, and there is more in there that you have not tapped into yet. So keep stirring up. So a typical day for me is I wear many hats and I keep myself occupied. I keep myself busy. I don't have time for gossip. I don't have time to go and do this. My time is fully maximized. So every part of my day is like,
I love it. I absolutely love
purpose
that.
driven.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. It's just you're a breath of fresh air. Yeah. You feel like electricity. I feel like who was it that said it felt like fire shut up in the bones, man? Who was that said that?
That's Jeremiah.
Yeah, oh my gosh! So when you're getting your assignment, is that something where you've prayed about, okay, what's my next move, or are you listening? How does that come about?
It comes whilst you, in unexpected ways. Say, for example, you're on a treadmill working out, you're washing dishes, you're cutting the grass in the yard. Yeah. It comes very loud. Yeah. It's like, did I just hear that? When you go in and you turn on TV, and it's like the same thing you just heard, confirmation on the TV. When you're going to talk to a friend, it's like, I was like, did this guy just send me this WhatsApp? The same thing I just heard in the garden and the same thing I just saw. So it's like everywhere you go, it's like confirmation upon confirmation. It's like, okay, I'm not fighting this anymore. Yeah. I don't know the where, I don't know the how, but all I know is I'm available and I'm willing to do it. And then that's how it comes. That's how it comes. So sometimes I deliberately don't share where I'm going, for safety precautions. Like, I don't share it, but I'll tell my close intercessory group, hey, I'm really feeling to go to this country next and this country next. And then in the final moments, I will share some details, but not all the details, because I don't want you to know my exact cardinal point location, everything, just so that, because there are a lot of folks that don't want you to go where you're going. You don't forget, as much as you have your faith and you have people that believe in you, there's a lot of folks that's against what you're doing. For sure. That's really against what you're doing. So then I only give you what you need to know basis. And then I know for sure where God is taking me, and just obey what he's telling me. Yeah.
As you're saying that, and sometimes I get in my little bubble and I just think, yeah, man, you're with me, right? You're smiling. Yeah. But I know better. How do you deal with that noise when there are those that will say, you could be doing this, or, why are you doing that? Or how do you even deal with the naysayers?
But what you do, what I do for myself, I always ask myself, what if this is your last 5 months on earth? What if this is your last 5 months on earth? Then you know what you want to prioritize. then you know, like, your goals and your objectives.
Sure.
Then you know, well, if this is my last 5 months on earth, why would I be going to this that's not going to profit me right now?
Come on.
And then you set your eyes like a flint. Okay, this person is not really for my interest now. It's just hi, hello, because he's not going to push me where I'm going, or she's not going to push me where I'm going. So then that's how I deal with it. I tell myself, you have a crunch line. What if this is your last 5 months? If you die today and you stand up before your maker and he asks you, did you do what I asked you to do? Well, I went and I did. Did you do what I asked you to do? And then that's how the urgency. I believe, especially as St. Lucians and Caribbean people, we don't have a sense of urgency.
Talk about that,
We
sir.
don't have a sense of urgency. It's like, well, there's nothing to do, nowhere to go. You know what? I just don't like somebody ever telling me they're bored. I wish I could clone myself.
Wow.
I mean, I don't believe in cloning. Don't think I condone cloning.
For sure.
But I wish there was like 5 of me right now. Because I know, like, you go and do this, you do this, you do this. I'm like, somebody's telling me they have nothing to do, they're bored. How could you say you're bored? How could you say you're bored? So then I just turn down all the noises, all the distractions, and I focus and I tell myself, hey, you're going to answer only to one person. And if you stand up before him in the next 5 months and he asks you, did you do? Are you going to say, well, it was the children, well, it was the wife, well, it was my friend that told me, or well, it was this. No, you have nobody else to blame than yourself.
Wow.
Nobody else. Your greatest enemy is you.
Come on.
You are the one preventing you from moving forward. Don't bring nobody else and say, well, this person or that. No, you.
Wow.
So I get going.
You get going. You know, I've got this thing, or had this thing where I would ask God, teach me to number my days so that I don't just waste time. I've wasted so many times.
That's Psalms, that's Moses.
Gee, man, come on. Trying to please people and trying to have folk like me. And at the end of the day, it does not matter. Because if he says, yeah, you did this and that, but you still worked in iniquity. Ouch. I'm not that bold, man, to waste time like that. So I don't waste it, and I'm very glad that you put that out there.
Yeah, when you listen to most folks have iPhones and they have everything, your watch, your Apple Watch. Steve Jobs, try listening to his last dying words. The guy has billions and he's dying, and he's saying, hey, I cannot even pay for this sickness to come. I cannot even trade this sickness. Guy has billions of dollars and he's saying his last words, look, I cannot trade this for that. So when you come and you realize, what amount of time have I wasted? Have I wasted? Do you know somebody that, I remember my granddad going to the doctor just to do a normal checkup, and they said, well, Mr. Matthew, you have 6 months left to live. You have stage 4 cancer of the liver. Could you imagine you going to a doctor and the doctor telling you have 6 months left to live? So now everything changes.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm like, I just really want to encourage somebody out there that's listening. Don't waste that precious 24 hours that every single one of us have on earth. That's the one commodity that every single person, from the kings of this earth to the presidents, to the person on the street, every single person has 24 hours every day. What are you going to do with it? And what amount of it are you wasting? Are you wasting? So please, live up to your full potential. Live up to what you're called to do. Don't waste any more time. Don't waste time. Don't waste time.
Don't waste time.
Don't waste time.
You know that's a bestseller, right? That's your book. Don't waste time. Don't waste
I need to write that book
yeah,
down.
Man. You got so many. And oh my gosh. So the mindset. How do you change someone's mind to let them know that you really do have what I'm telling you you got? You just need to tap in. How do you change a mindset?
Everything is about mindset. Wherever your mind go, your body will follow. You know, you believe that I'm just called to be that little street cleaner, and that's where my mind is. That's where your body, everything will follow. Your emotions will follow. Everything will follow. I remember my first time. You know, I had to legally change my name and put Mufasa in there. I had this in like Paul. Saul to Paul encounter in Africa. We were just chilling, watching the cartoon of the Lion King. And, you know, Mufasa died, and Simba is watching the clouds, and Mufasa came through the clouds, and he's telling Simba, remember who you are. Yeah. And it's like, I just had this encounter with the Holy Spirit, and I'm just there bawling. And all the people around me started shouting, Mufasa. I'm like, what does Mufasa mean? So I went and looked up the meaning in Swahili. It means king. Simba means lion. And God said to me, I want, you left St. Lucia as a little cub. You are rising in kingship authority. I want you to rise, and you're going to reign over kingdoms. You're going to move in kingship authority and move with my kingship mantle. And my mindset changed now.
Had to.
My mindset moved now to kingdom perspective, kingdom mindset. Everything is kingdom. That's why I said I don't flow with denominations. I flow with kingdom.
There you go.
I move with kingdom.
Yeah.
So now I'm seeing things from a heaven perspective. I don't see things from what the social media is saying, what the news is saying, what this president is doing. Man, I'm a citizen of heaven. I have, my passport is from heaven. I have my visa. I have diplomatic rights from heaven. I'm a citizen of heaven, and I operate that. So now I move. I know my identity. I'm not perturbed with nobody. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm called to do. So now I'm not moved and burdened by nothing, nobody's opinion about me. I have only one opinion I move by. So now that you know who you are, when you get to know your identity and your mindset shift, some people that start feeling intimidated around you. It's like, oh, who does he think he is?
Yep, that's where I
know who I
am. Yep.
I move in kingship and I operate in kingship. So the mindset, the minute you change your mindset and who you call to be and who you are, everything changes. Everything changes.
Wow.
Everything changes. Wow. So change your mindset.
Change your mindset.
And your body, your emotions, your finance, everything changes.
It does. It really does. I also have to make certain that I put a watch over this mouth, you know, because you're absolutely right when I tell others that I'm not in the economy that I understand
kingdom economy.
Yeah, man. Because every need is met. You know,
don't tell me about recession and all that. No, man. Kingdom economy. I don't move with what you tell me about recession or this is good or this is good. No. Based on all where all along the steps in terms of all those adventures I've done, I have seen miracles. I've seen the hand of God move like that. Sorry if I'm snapping my finger, it feels bad, but I'm just saying I could just clap instead of snap. I'm gonna clap instead of snap. Man, I have literally seen the hand of God move in my life. I've seen the hand of God move in my life. And then because of that, I now have full confidence that my God is in charge. And I could walk into a room and I know that he's going to do what he told me he's going to do, or I'm going to go there. So now it builds like my full faith, my full trust is in him. So my everything changes like this. You change the mindset, everything changes.
Everything changes.
Kingdom.
It does. Kingdom. Amen. Now, would you say that this is a process? Because it didn't just happen overnight. There were tests that you had to take for authenticity.
It's a daily, minute by minute, hour by hour process, Doc. Because even whilst you are obeying, you are dealing with a lot of internal stuff.
For sure.
I have my struggles. Man, I have all kinds of problems.
Come on.
You have your issues in your marriage.
Yeah.
You have children issues. You have work issues.
Yep.
And then it's like, and then you're dealing with your own personal issues.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a journey of different layers. The process is like every day, but the thing is, you trust in the process. You trust in God throughout the process. And when you realize, like, wait a minute, I'm not the only one going through this.
Come on.
You tell yourself you're not alone. You're not alone going through this process. And then it's like, shake up yourself, man. Shake up yourself. Wash your face. And believe what he said you're going to do next and just keep on moving. And that's how I keep moving day by day by day. Man, I have so much on my shoulders.
Who you telling?
But you don't even know. You don't even know. I carry so much on my shoulders. And every day, because the thing is, life throws so much curveballs at you. Every day you wake up. You have not even come out of your door yet. Your cousin is telling you, come quick, we have a problem. I was like, jeez. Man, why are you putting me in your problem? Why are you getting me involved? And then it's like, And when that's how life will throw obstacles at you every day. It's a process every day. But the thing is, your faith is getting stronger every day because you've seen the hand of God at work through that process.
Wow. They're saying break, and I'm like, what? Didn't I tell you you're in for a treat? Stay tuned. We're going to wrap it up. I don't want to leave this man's presence, but we are. But just stay tuned. We'll be right back. Man, I'm just all over the place. Thank you again for joining us this evening. I have had an amazing time. Oh my God, just being in your presence, being in your home, being in your ear gate, your eye gate. You trust me with time, and I don't want to ever squander it. Tonight we were reminded that purpose has no borders and impact has no limits. Mufasa is a living example of what happens when you dig deep. Not just in the ground, but from the heart, your calling. Mr. Mufasa.
Yes, ma'am.
Sensei. There is some bodies out there watching, and they're drinking the Kool-Aid, as we would say from Mississippi. But there's that hesitation. What could you say? What would you say right there? What do you say to that person? They want to do what you're doing. They want to get out there and start living. But there's that but. How do you move past that? How do you speak to that?
Again, I had to get to the point in my life in terms of how much time do you think you have left on earth? And when I got to that point where I don't know if this is my last week, I don't know if this is my last month, I don't know if this is my last 5 years on earth, and all I want to know is like I have to move and do what God has told me to do. So to that person that's like, you're struggling, you have doubts, God has an amazing plan for you. Jeremiah 29:11. I have some amazing plans for you. Get in line with it. I am so proud to be a St. Lucian, Doc. The name St. Lucia means light. It means light. Again, only country in the world named after a woman. So many beautiful things about this island. And when you get to know that this island has a prophetic calling to shine light. You were born in this island to shine light. And it's like when you realize that, hey, wait a minute, I have a calling for you. I have a purpose for you. And I just want you to get up and do it. Ask yourself, what has God called me to do? This is going to be my life statement. To tell people, what have God called me to do? Don't listen to what the voices are saying. Don't listen to what people are saying around you. If you die next week and you stand up, or somebody comes to your burial, what would you want them to say about you? I know for sure that folks standing at my burial is going to say, Mufasa lived what he always spoke about. He lived and he did it. He didn't just talk about it. He actually did it. I'm not just gonna talk about doing wells or doing orphanages or doing things in different. I just take my bag and I just obey and I do it. I do it. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know where I'm gonna sleep. I don't know what I'm gonna eat. I'm going in a tribe in Ethiopia. We drove hours. It took us 2 days to get in that part in Ethiopia. There's a war in the north. I'm going through different military checkpoints in the south. And I'm there, I'm like, I don't know where I'm gonna sleep tonight, but I know I'm gonna sleep somewhere. And then a guy said, hey, we're gonna sleep in this little dirt church tonight. I'm like, thank God I'm sleeping somewhere in a dirt church. So it's like, you don't know, you will not be able to answer all the question marks. But the peace you have knowing that the person who called you and the person who asked you to do it is with you. That gives you peace. Like no matter, the safest place to be in life is in the hands of God. Don't think like, oh, I'm not in a war-torn area right now, I'm safe. No, anything could happen. A stray bullet could hit you right there in your living room. But the safest place to be is in the will of God and in his hands. When you know you're doing what God has called you to do, that's one of the safest places to be on earth. So I want to encourage somebody out there that's listening to me. The safest place you could be right now is obeying the commandment and obeying the will of God for your life. Just do the baby steps. Just say, you know what, God, I'm available. I'm giving you my life right now. I'm available to do what you've asked me to do. And you will see how your life will change one step at a time. Dr. Tongie, if you did not obey the call to do this talk show, I will not be here today. I will not be here today because you obeyed the call to do the talk show. Look at where I'm sitting. I never dreamt about being here with you tonight. So when you obey what God has called you to do, you are opening doors for other people. You are being a blessing for somebody else that God have called to do something. So it's you just a part of the puzzle. And when you fit your part, it's a beautiful picture. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful picture because you did your part. You played your role of obeying what God have called you to do. So Dr. Tongie, I want to thank you so much for you obeying the call of God to do this talk show. You left where you were in the US and you came to St. Lucia, and look at where I'm sitting here today. Look at where folks are listening to us tonight. So how much more somebody out there just going to do what God asked them to do? And it's a domino effect. It's blessing upon blessing. It's beauty upon blessing. So he has made everything beautiful in its own time. Kyros. Everything becomes beautiful when you move in Kyros. Everything becomes beautiful. Oh. God bless you. Yeah.
This has been our show. I tried so hard to get through this night without crying, but I am so grateful. Mm-hmm. I am so grateful. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you, Linda, for giving me an opportunity. Mm-hmm. Thank you, St. Lucia, for adopting me as your own. Mm-hmm. There's something I want you to carry with you tonight as we close out. The moment you stop waiting for permission is the moment you start walking in power. We spent too much time shrinking and doubting and playing ourselves so small. But we got to be ready now. This is your calling. Answer your call. Please share this show with others. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, we have a rebroadcast of the show on Sunday at 8 o'clock, so I need you there. To Caden, Kendrick, and Idris, Nana loves you so very, very much. Thank you for being the best part of my life. To my babies and Ansela Ray, I told you I was going to call your name. And I'll see you very, very soon. Thank you, St. Lucia, for being the best part of my life.
Thank you,
I love you. Oh, Mufasa, you know you're coming back. I'm going to do wells with this man. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, St. Lucia. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
remember your signs, you remember my eyes. We were not together, but we both knew better.